There are two ways to change shortest path settings for rotary axis 2, or in other words, rotary tables. Either you change the rotary axis 2 settings using Edit button next to Kinematics, or using the Kinematics Settings tab inside Cutting Modes. If you click the Edit button next to Kinematics on the left, you change the shortest path settings in general. In other words, all operations, which are using this machine kinematics, are affected from the changes you made here. Now I am changing the rotary axis 2, follows shortest path parameter, to false. After this change, rotary axis 2 will not travel from shortest side for any operation, which are using this machine general kinematics. I will explain in a moment what it means to use machine general kinematics, and how to deactivate general kinematics inside operations. Let's now see how to change kinematics settings inside cutting modes. Keep in mind that, if you change the kinematics settings inside a cutting mode, the change you make will only affect the operations, which are using this cutting mode. I will open the TCPC cutting mode, which is defined on the top level of the operation tree. TCPC cutting mode is used by simultaneous and angular head operations, as shown here. Now, I will open the Kinematics Settings tab of the TCPC cutting mode. As you can see, as default, Use Machine Kinematics is selected for all cutting modes. This means that, in this postprocessor, all cutting modes are using the general kinematics defined by the Edit button on the left. And since I just changed the rotary axis 2, follows shortest path parameter to false, now I see false in every cutting mode. And now I will deselect Use Machine Kinematics only in TCPC cutting mode. When I deselect this option, I can modify the rotary axis 2 shortest path settings for the TCPC cutting mode only. Now, I am changing the rotary axis 2 follow shortest path parameter to true again. This change only affects the operations using TCPC cutting mode, which are simultaneous and angular head operations in this postprocessor. Other operations will continue to use the general kinematics, and therefore they will not be affected from this change.